Nautilus going to be the pick here for Lehens. Just more follow-up, more potential hard engage, and more buttons to press onto Teddy. Or, you know, onto Akali as well.
Yeah.
If you get a little look at Akali for a split second, you press R.
I was going to say that, like, I feel like the Nautilus is more about dealing with the Akali because obviously you can press R on her quite easily. Because I think they have, I'm going to say it, enough buttons for Teddy. You know, I think if Lehens also presses R on Teddy, I think he might be overdoing it a little bit.
But guys, we are ready for game number 1. Let's hop onto the Rift.
And I would say DRX pretty happy with that. You know, the Varus does outrange the Ezreal. The Elise poses a good amount of threat in the Nautilus, but there's not so much in return because of the repel.
265 at the moment. Oh, jumping in. Andil looking for it as comes back to his soul, and Cocoon is going to land. Fish in a lot of trouble. Andil gets on in, but he doesn't have repel, so he will go down. But he does pick up the first blood for himself.
Not too far behind in gold thanks to that initial kill. Is a little bit down on XP though, and Yukal is level 6, so that is a bit scary.
Yeah, Yukal level 6, and he's just going to face check the brush and maybe go down here. The Ignite is ticking, and now it's Lehens who's got a kill. At least DRX able to get in there and pick up one grub, but Nongshim going to be very happy they get closer to that feat. Okay, it definitely is. We've seen some weird fights around the blue for DRX, and it has happened. And for Bro. We are going to jump on in there and just go for the fight. They try to just lock them down as the Yone ultimate is going to keep them in place basically forever. But funnily enough, they used everything onto not the 2 carries as Yukal trying to do something, and he's not going to be able to. Fisher picks up a second kill.
So still a lot of flashes available, or just about to come up.
They just died too fast, you know?
Yeah.
And now Sponge's going to go in. Lehens trying to hook away. He's not going to be able to. They have to turn, but Lehens in a bit of trouble. Tanks up quite a lot, and actually still alive for so long. And the Yone just able to clean up. Yukal very out of position after that, as they desperately couldn't kill Lehens. And finally they do, but it is absolutely not worth it. Nongshim win another big fight, and now Fisher, 4 kills.
It's not that big of a deal. We can take Dragon, you can take Grubs, we'll trade off.
Yukal going in here. He doesn't know about the Nautilus. Now he knows, as the hook is going to miss. Yukal, not to be disrupted, he continues to go in. There's the ult, going to hit both of them. Lehens easily able to peel for Fisher, who did have to flash, but still going to mean that Fisher gets away. Are all very strong. So Nongshim, it just feels like they're very much in control of this one. Feats of Strength should come through for them eventually. And trying to go for a dive onto an Aurora. Now the hook is going to miss, and the dive is also going to be a big miss, as in goes Lehens with his own tech, brings it out and shuts down Andil. That was one of the saddest dives I've ever seen. Now looking for a good dive is Nongshim on the top side. They're easily able to dispose of Yukal.
Cleared, and you're in a rush. This was just, you know, Gideon, easy as you do, into the Akali. Now Lehens is in a bit of trouble. I think he's just gone.
He might just be, but TP is coming in. There's the locket again. He's buying a lot of time once again, but DRX do have 4 members, but look at Rich. He's not that tanky just yet. He's only got the 1 item, and easily disposed of by Jiru. Looking for more. The extension from the Yone on the Xin Zhao. And you would imagine, yes, Gideon should be able to finish off that kill. We're not going to go in on the level 8 Nautilus.
Do a little bit poke, and then respect. That was not that much damage.
Yeah, but he is kind of getting CC'd down. He will have to flash out of that one. So nice little catch from Andil. Not sure what Fisher was thinking. Just kind of face-checking the brush.
He was like, oh, Lehens, I can do it too. King in. Then he's gone to Sheen. He's building an Iceborne Gauntlet, but he doesn't really have much armor yet.
Yeah.
Look
at the jungle level gap as well. Not to mention just the jungle gap at the moment in terms of the scoreline. Level 14 to 11, and Sponge dies again. It's free Otacon here for Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so free. I mean, Gideon is so strong. I was going to say he has the Black Cleaver. You have a lot of AD damage in the composition, so Rich is going to feel squishy. They're wanting to contest this.
Well, we've seen Otacon throws before, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. As they get the Otacon, and now they turn on the fight as they're looking to take down Lehens. They will enjoy their 200 gold. He gets a hook in the Death Chamber as well, just to add to the bonuses that he has given to his kills, or his team rather. It 1 winning team to 1 losing team. It's like, yeah, he's just that ahead in the game. As, yep, this is the Varus. Doesn't get to play the game. We talked about this in draft, but now the wallets are just gigantic as they are going to catch Gideon. And of course, they will go for the dive with this Otacon buff.
Wait, they got
remnants
Lehens
of it, and yep, they did get Lehens.
Well, job successful. That's what they wanted, right?
That's what they've told us all game long, Ox. Little things. As Andel, he's like, oh, I got a cocoon, guys, come on.
You know.
And he's probably just dead. Again, up 3 levels is Gideon on Sponge here as they look to punish him. Should be able to. The disengage cone, not even. It's actually going to help Gideon engage cone over the wall. So the Uno reversal there actually gonna give them 1 turret.
Yeah, got to feel a bit rough. I talked before about how like Akali feels underwhelming when behind, but also like Elise, you know, some of the items you build on Elise are a bit more expensive, you know, being like AP items. But also like Elise has been really strong in solo queue where you kind of get like 11 kills for some reason. Support enemy comp is just going to murder me constantly.
Yeah.
The 1 in 5 Akali mid. It's so true.
Well, they got through Lehens' shields. I will give them that, as in goes Fisher, and they just assassinate them. This game has been done for quite a while, but Nongshim going to show off their big bars of gold that they have gained from all of their farming in this one. Down will go all the members of DRX, and down will fall the Nexus. Nongshim absolutely stomping them, almost 20,000 gold ahead at the end of the game.
They get it game 1 and win, and then game 2 it goes the other side. It's a back and forth.
Yeah.
DRX have lost that already because they've lost that blue side game. So I think it makes sense here for Nongshim. And it means if we do get into those 5v5s, I think DRX are really going to struggle. I think they have to set up and land poke for their composition to work. You know, it's game 2, game 1, where we talked about, felt like there was an edge towards Nongshim in the draft.
It looks good. Let's jump onto the Rift and see how it looks. Rich is here.
Yeah, I think it makes complete sense to swap.
Get him, Rich.
Yeah. Not sure about that one.
I mean, it's okay. At the end of the day, he's not really doing anything. You take a worse trade. And here comes Sponge. He's level 4 with the quick clear, trying to get the punish here onto Lehens, who was just trying to help. He's going to flash away just to be safe, much of anything in terms of a gank. But now we have a bit of a fight in mid. Fisher level 6, though, even gonna Valkyrie over Yukal for a bit of extra damage. Here's the first gank from Gideon, and Rich is in a bunch of trouble. He has his flash. He's jumping back into the fight just to try to get some XP, as he says, well, I'm not getting away anyway, and that is first blood given over to Gideon's Lilia.
Yeah. Jiwoo, who got it earlier. We'll see this play going down in the bot lane. And Gideon actually tries to predict Rich's flash, so goes for the flash, the W here, kind of where the flash would end up. Rich holds the flash and figures I was just dead anyway. If he flashes then, he's flashing into it, into the W, he's just dead. Just soloing Sponge away from the grubs, apparently.
The threat of all 4 members coming up, right?
Yeah, and because Andal was waiting around mid, it does mean that G was able to move first.
The bowling ball is going to miss. Engage comes in from Andal. It's onto Braum, though, and now the turn comes in. Lehens tanking up so much damage once again. Low health bars, though, on the side of Nongshim as they look to turn onto Teddy, who might be in a bit of trouble. Flashes, though, and the low health bars might come back to bite them as DRX. They get another engage. Andal slept for quite a while. As here comes King in, level 6 himself. He has tried to join this fight as there's the ult! And the death, though, is traded back. King looking for a second, gets his second. And Gideon still fighting against Sponge here, who would love to get the Scuttle Crab, and he will be able to.
Rich just gets some alone time now, but Fish is going to be there in time. And actually, Rich, I think, could be dead.
He didn't flash last time, so there's that. And he is going to flash the arrow.
That was a difference maker. Gideon
feeling pretty good about cleaning up the end of that. They've got a fed top laner now and a fed jungler. As King in, he's being baited into this one. Oh, he dashes straight into a very nice spear from Sponge.
Immediately. Like, even when there's no
It's what they're programmed to do, Ox. They don't know how to do anything else.
Teddy makes the decision that, hey, they're not going to tower dive me right now with 2 teammates here, and just holds it. Genius.
Imagine that. Well, Teddy's got a very nice angle now, and he has his cleanse, so you see that Lehens and Jiwoo are just running away, but you can't quite run away from the Kaisa. Double flash over the wall to get on top of Jiwoo, and they will do just that. Still a fight here over the grubs. Will turn into a quick 3v2, but Sponge is on the chase. They should be able to take down Andal, though, painlessly, as Sponge takes away the grub as well. 3-4-3 in that objective. Fisher here now, and it's getting messy once again. We got a 4v4. In goes King, and he gets the angle, but that's on the UCal. Now he's trying to flash away and trying to get some peel, but that's the kill on the ridge. Fisher, full health. He's got the Gatling gun, and he's just running them down with it as Teddy able to at least take out one with the help of UCal. The missile is going to miss as it's in the name, and here comes Fisher, and there's not much you can do about that. You're not getting away from those two as Kingen comes in and steals both kills. Worry about that. Don't quote me on this until April.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we're just on this patch for the rest of LCK Cup.
Yeah, we just have to worry about like Ambassador and Skarner, you know?
Cassante still exists.
Oh, God.
But, you know, it's fearless. It's fun. As that arrow, not the best. I mean, he had vision. Maybe didn't expect them to just run straight at Nongshim at that exact moment. And, you know, they're doing a lot of zoning at the same time. In goes Rich. He's going to open this up for, you know, Teddy to jump in. But it feels like this is looking good for the side of Nongshim, but it is the Riptail taken by Sponge. Look at the health bars though. Ondel just gonna have to evacuate. And Nongshim saying, you know what? We don't have Fisher. He could TP, but we don't have to. It's so smart. How many times have we seen teams be like, no, we have to TP in, we have to fight this. He's like, no, just gonna take the tower down. So, but again, Mbess is not the target. I feel like other players, maybe not Lahens, but the other three, perhaps you should be able to burst down if you've got like a clear shot with UCal and Sponge to land some poke. There you go. Just hit the poke. Just don't miss. And you're going to be in a great spot. There's no saving Fisher here. He could try to TP, but then he'd just die instead. He's going to Valkyrie and survive for a little bit longer. And who they give the kill to is really the question. As the crowd goes wild because nothing misses. Playing for it.
Sponge is low on mana, but, you know, as he's a jungler, he will regen it quick.
Well, now DRX have pulled off the objective, but they want to take the fight. They want to get in onto Nongshim. And the backline here, they're not successfully able to do so. Nice solar flare, but again, the follow-up is not there. They're not able to take down Jiwoo. And
the sleep!
The sleep! The lineup! It's perfect as the Brawl is over the top as well. Do they have the damage though in the 4v5 is the question. Yes, they absolutely do as Gideon just prances around, immediately dies, but it doesn't matter. Kingen is unkillable, and Jiwoo is as well for some reason. Nobody could take him down, and Fisher, he's like, hey, remember me?
He gets this.
This is revenge!
Getting Sponge is so big here. It's a Nidalee. She can sustain herself up. She would still have the smite. You wouldn't be able to set themselves up for that third dragon. They're in a fantastic spot. TV Flank is coming in from Rich.
Remember, there's a minute and a half on Otacon buff. They're really trying to punish this. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to, really. They might get Jiwoo here, but he does cleanse and flash over the wall. That will be one withdrawal. And Fisher kind of going 1v3, not the best situation for him. He will go down as well. And they should be able to get Lahens unless he can hop over to Jiwoo here. No, just going to walk on a straight line. That's actually a better strat. What was I thinking? Meanwhile, okay, he's instead going to go in and die, as will Jiwoo. Just a bunch of withdrawals with the Otacon buff. And Kingen's just bot pushing the tower.
This is just a massive punish, though, from DRX. You know, they get about 800 gold from the kills, which is still pretty significant. You've got Otacon. Let's see what you can get with it. Let's see you really push that lead. And now they... oh, no.
Yeah, Fisher, he stopped the back. That wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And, okay, he baited the engage. There you go.
From there to defend, so still okay. But yeah, I think DRX did a fantastic job of punishing, but still behind, still struggling. Rich is looking for an angle, though. They need to get the tower and get out. Oh, the engage!
The angle is the way of Kingen, but yeah, he's just trying to use the end of the Otacon buff. He didn't have to do that. It's just... They desperately wanted it, and they did not get it. Fight over the Scuttle Crab. Nice burst from Sponge, who is not nearly as far behind as he was in Game 1. Still down a level.
Yep.
And down farm. It's Gideon 4-1-7 in this game. Spears and poke should go the way of DRX as the Hextech Dragon is being burst down. The flash on in. They are going to catch Ziyu. He doesn't have the sums. And they try to take him down, but it takes them so long. They do take the ass out of the fight, though. Gideon, desperate for something, goes into the Zanyas. And he's got the Ambessa with him. Meanwhile, Rich in the backline, though, is going to survive forever. Finally gets smoked down by Gideon. But DRX have already won the fight, and they want a bit more. They're going to take down the Hands and the Hextech Dragon for their troubles.
You know, they forget about him.
It's just following up Great counter-strike.
I think he was like, okay, I'm going down, let's see what I can do. And then Ambessa's like, goodbye. Yeah. Point. And now we'll lose Baron to DRX. With this, we'll take the gold lead. Actually, I say that. Gideon is approaching, but has no way to get into the pit. And Andal is there.
Yeah.
So good at like clumping together and picking a target, killing a target, picking a target, killing a target. They were very split there.
Oh, that's going to be a huge one from Teddy. Jiu even flashes at the end. And he just gets outplayed by Teddy straight up. They're pushing with the Baron.
DRX.
Okay. Trying to do something here. They did a teensy bit of damage to Andal.
Yeah. Trying to just keep the wave back, but... Oh, Kingan's found Teddy. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, forces the flash too. Teddy in an awkward spot, but look at this. This is even more awkward. Gideon going to be caught out. Teddy's low, but it was a fantastic bait. He gets away. Lahens has to flash. And they still have the Baron.
Yeah.
50 seconds on the Red Bull Baron power play. I mean, they're going to get this inhibitor. I mean, Jiu is up, though. Maybe they get a bit scared, but no. The other two members have to back and get some health back. And DRX will just take the inhibitor.
Nongshim trying to make the... Oh, Hex gating in. Lahens really wants a fight.
It is Lahens alone. Nobody has followed him. Jiu probably making the smart call not to follow him. And, yeah, just a little bonus Braum kill. All right.
Feeling a lot more alive.
We're going to do Hextech Dragon Fight 2, Electric Boogaloo, as Sponge taking a ton of damage, actually. He has to flash away. In goes Rich. It's very disjointed from DRX. Sponge is out of the fight. He is healing, though, but I think it's a little bit too late to actually contest this one. In goes Gideon, looking for something. Doesn't want to sleep, only Andal, but it's just DRX. They've got their hands up in the air, and they're like, please don't come at us. We don't want to fight. We'll even give you Andal for free. And that they do, so Nongshim somehow steal away a Hextech trade.
Connect the poke. You know, you have so much strength there. You also have the Serpent's Fang from Yukal, so when the poke hits, oh, look for the hand.
Yeah, Andal just going to go in by himself. The Solar Flare is decent, but there's zero follow-up. DRX were like, what was that? We're not going in on that.
Yeah, I think maybe because Rich was on the flank, they were looking for something, but like the poke was landing, it was good poke.
Yeah.
They didn't need to engage there. Dragon fight. They landed the ult on Sponge, got some poke, didn't commit. That's really what DRX should be doing. Getting some poke, you don't need to commit. Oh, Teddy.
Sleep? Yeah, Sleep comes in. Teddy going in, though. Jiru in a lot of trouble again. He flashes for nothing. Down will go Lahens. And I was worried for DRX, but they get a couple of kills. Andal, though, going to go down. Kingan is a raid boss. And he flashes over the wall, but Rich is able to get the follow here as Gideon desperate to try to peel for him, but now he's put himself in a rough spot. Has to flash away. And DRX come up big in this fight. Should be able to take down the Baron.
Once again, Nongshim get caught sleeping, a little bit split on that one.
Yeah, and I can understand why they were desperately trying to join up because Gideon...
Oh, not again, not again!
Yeah, Jiu, I think he's just dead. I mean, how can you save him? He's got nothing. They just flash over the Braum. The Braum doesn't even exist. They don't even look at him. Well, they'll take him down as an afterthought. Nongshim, one by one. The dominoes fall, and DRX say, well, do we even need the Dragon? Maybe we can just end the game.
Jiu has just not looked good this game at all. You can obviously put some criticism towards Lahens for not being with him, but you know, the Hexgate start channeling and he was kind of like, where do I go? Where do I go? Away! Run away!
The other direction! There is only one direction to go away from this one.
Yeah, very indecisive. DRX managing to close this one out.
Yeah, they should be able to, especially with the Baron. Nice flash as Rich does get a little bit low, but it just doesn't matter at this point. The wallet are heavy enough. And Fisher just gives a little thumbs up and says, good job, guys. DRX, you figured it out. You won a game from ahead, and you were able to close one out here. So that's going to be a nice confidence booster for them.
Chance we go the distance, you know, if games keep being traded back and forth like this, and that's really going to test some champion pools.
Yeah, I was worried after game one where Nongshim just absolutely crushed them, 20,000 gold lead. I was like, oh, quick.
That is not going to save you. That is not that.
He's gonna hook the Galio into the team.
You know,
Jerry was available. That makes more sense.
Lahens is a phenomenal blitzcrank. He is really good at that champion, but he has this tendency to pick it when he's just vibing. And I think this is possibly one of the worst blitzcrank spots.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're ready for game number 3 right now.
You know, something I will mention is you did see this Maokai Blitzcrank combo from Gen G when it was Lahen's Canyon.
Yes.
That is the win con.
If you're ahead, sure. Playing level 1 into Blitzcrank, questionable, but you know, they had the Silas. They thought maybe, okay, we can hop over, catch Gideon, but the chains miss. With the Zeri in your face as well. I think it can look very different, the mid to late game, depending on who's ahead. Bot, Sponge as Wukong. Might just have to give it up, but he is posturing here for potentially going for the Blast Cone. They see him, that's the clone. And a nice try from Lahen's, as over the wall he does go. But Gideon did get the blue, so at the end of the day, zooming all over the place. As speaking of which, Sponge is probably just dead here. He is going to go into his clone, and they're trying to give the kill over to Fisher, which they will do very successfully. Sponge has gotten himself into about 8 different bad situations so far.
It's also just it does one of two things. I don't think DRX are ever going to do this, whether it baits them into flashing.
Free knockup, bit of damage. Well, that didn't go the way you were thinking it was going to go. Lahen's has a free kill, and he doesn't even bother flashing. He's like, yep. It's like
very scary.
Zeri. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna use my ult.
The trap slightly missed as well, but like Zeri ult is just so strong at level. I mean, generally, but at level 6, the amount of times I've seen, oh, they're diving.
Yeah, nice equalizer on the wave, at least to try to survive. But they have just so many threats here, and this is what this composition does. They get the flash out of Rich
to get that same value. Now looking for Rich in the bot lane. Not an easy dive, but Fish has a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, this. Can they do damage to this Galio is really the question at the end of the day. With TP coming in, they're not going to test it too much, although Fisher, yeah, he wanted to test it.
He's like, how much damage does a tower do right now? This.
All right, they're staring at each other very menacingly as the ult comes in, and Yucal says goodnight.
Wait, they just can't kill him now. He can keep going.
Yeah, they can't kill him, and he has to flash away.
People are satisfied with this level of evidence. He wants to find a bit more. Yeah, I mean, the Tristana was just so low. And 301 damage from that ult.
Like, we don't get the comms from Nomshim, obviously, but...
There was a clear point where Yucal realized his cooldowns are coming up. Yeah, just...
Bomba?
Yeah, Bomba on Fisher. Uh-oh, Jiwoo.
There's a Wukong, and you don't have Ghost. I don't think it would have helped anyway. Yeah, easy dive. And a nice angle found here by Sponge.
Fuel power, you know, the extra tankiness for like Yucal and Rich when low HP is really nice. By the way, this is before the buff to Chemtech.
Don't do it, Jiwoo. Don't do it.
Oh, flash down.
He did it.
They just keep doing that. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but he got Kingan's flash.
Okay, well, we got another play in quotation marks here as Sponge is going to go in and he's looking to flash over the wall. And we're just burning flashes like they're pennies that are going out of style. I mean, it's like, cook it further.
Yeah, always room to burn those pennies.
Yeah, that's what they used to say back in my day as Yucal in a really rough spot, actually. 2v1. A lot of damage does go in, and Yucal can't even flash out of that one.
And he's on the cliff.
It was Stunzo from there, yeah.
So confused.
Oh, nice hook, actually, as they go in on a Wukong, and he just dies. Not quite able to have an impact, but Gideon taking a bunch of damage from Teddy. As you said it before, the scrappy fights. DRX will like those, but still, it's just a 1-for-1 trade. I wanted to Lulu ult, and I had to click a second time. Oh no. Here comes another engage, featuring Blast Cone, Mega Cone. In goes Fisher, engaging himself. And the Maokai ultimate doesn't end up really doing much, but a couple of TPs come in. And they just kind of back away, fighting over this Chemtech Drake for now. But Nomshim are like, well, we didn't want that anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
or do they?
Only Teddy's low. Gideon being low, a little bit rough, but King gets a big ult.
Oh, that equalizer, very nice angle. Andil does not have flash, and Rich is taking a bunch of damage, but guess who does even more damage? It's the Zeri, and it's the Wukong. Again, just press your buttons all at the same time in one direction, and you're gonna feel pretty good as DRX. As now they turn their sights onto the Chemtech Drake, and Nomshim are running away. Some harpoons, but Kingan's just staring at him. As now, they're going to start up the Otacon. No vision here for the side of DRX. And, you know, some pings for the blue team. They are beginning to...
Fun.
Yeah, it's a bit too slow from DRX. 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. There's the smite. And now Lehens is going to hook air, but they have the Maokai ult engaged. They don't quite have the peel, though, as now stolen equalizer. They're trying to turn onto Yukal, but they're not quite able to. Wukong goes down. Tons of damage being dealt right now by Nongshim, and they've got this Jinx in the backline just shelling out the damage. And DRX, they bite off more than they can chew in this one, as they wanted to punish, but instead, they're the ones that got punished.
And they got so much gold from that. Problem is, they're now just getting sieged down. Oh, comes in.
Oh. Okay, gonna be pushed away from the hook, and now Kingin, he's going on in. He doesn't care if he dies. They've done the damage. They take out the Lulu, and they still have the Otacon buff. Here comes Fisher, and he's just tanking up the turret because why not? He's gonna get the 1 kill, gets a second as well, the fade away. And Yukal's like, by the way, I'm Silas. I can steal the Maokai ultimate. Isn't this great? Doesn't do anything. And maybe Nongshim just win right now.
This is just the end of the game. You know, Fisher's TP to come back, and couple of fumbles, some good team fighting from Nongshim, and DRX get run into the dirt. It'll be 2-1 to Nongshim on the back of this. And a game that felt more decisive than game 2 for sure, but just felt like once they lost control, it came down to it. Unable to find the angles.
Yeah.
Yukal really did not have a good time against Fisher in the mid lane matchup and never really showed up. And I think he had the ult on the bot lane, he had that fight that went well, but other than that, it just feels like he's been subdued, and Fisher's been doing a fantastic job of keeping down.
I think Ju's being pressured with that decision as well at this very moment. Aphelios,
He did hover it before.
I mean, the thing about Aphelios is that it's good into a lot of shorter range champions, but also suffers against heavy dive.
Yeah.
But if it's only Camille,
oh my god, Woodid's gonna be so happy. Woodid was calling for this. No. Yes. Woodid was calling for this. He wanted to see the Senna.
you have to make Wadid happy. There it is, Senna. That's not digging very deep into the support champion pool.
That feels very good, honestly. So the Nongshim composition, you have tools that can kind of mitigate the dive from DRX. That's nice, right? When they funnel into you, like the Camille goes in and you're trying to follow up with the Sejuani, whatever, that's good.
In that case, you'd be hoping DRX takes this one. We'll see if this draft gets them across the line as we hop onto the Rift for Game 4.
Position isn't that long ranged. And yes, they have the Rel, but a lot of the time they're kind of hoping that DRX come into them. Oh man, that's so big for DRX.
Yeah, just free flash level 1, but also Nongshim trying to get some revenge. As Sponge is like, well...
Oh man, he went Q as well, which allows him to get away, but like, Sejuani E is so OP for wave clear, for jungle clear, so...
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna start the Raptors, I guess he can just Q them, but not ideal.
I think it was on cooldown.
DRX, yeah. Well...
The Aphelios is really interesting. There was a time for some of you, well, might have to hold that thought as Sponge. It's all about the face checking here today. And Sponge says, well, I can fight this, but the Nara's coming in quicker. And he's quickly realizing that he can't fight that. He's trying to get away. There's the flash on in from Gideon, and he's got Orianna to Sponge, but the knock into the wall, the angle is perfect, and the first blood is fed.
Range of the fountain laser, so...
Yep. Here comes a wall. Fisher looking to join on in, use some of that gold, but it's just going to actually be Lehens that comes in as well and makes his life really difficult as Sponge once again falling very far behind Gideon here. Pick from Ondil. As now, thinking about something here, they're going to knock away Teddy, and now it's just Rich. He does have flash, he's going to ult on in, but there's just way too many threats, and there you go. Just easy collection for Jiwoo. So he picks up the kill on a Rich, and there's nothing that Sponge or Teddy can do except watch.
Yeah, I think Rich kind of could have done more, if I'm going to be honest. You could flash the Poppy stun, and I think you could maybe get a turnaround kill. Like, you had backup coming through.
Yukal? Oh, that's a big rock. And the ult to come in, he pulls him closer, and the flash comes through.
So I think he didn't have a chance to. So, my bad. I criticized him. Didn't have a chance.
He is saying, like, what the hell is that? What is this? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe Lehens was just that clean with it. And we might get number 2, and here it does come through. That's the flip on in, and Rich, he just doesn't even bother. I feel like there was even maybe a window to try to flash, but auto attack's already in the air. Just decides to die instead. And it's just been this roaming death squad from Gnomeshin. They're just going around the map killing everyone.
Yeah, it's working really well. They're being proactive. They set Sponge behind, and now Gideon is just running the game on this Poppy.
A little ult on in as well. Gonna get the root down. Now Sejuani is here. Sponge looking to turn this one, but guess what? Gideon comes in and says no thank you. TP now, double TP from the side of DRX. UCal, he wants revenge. He wants blood, but he's not in a he's in a pretty rough spot actually. The stun comes down, and they're gonna give another kill over to Jiu. Rich trying desperately to take out this Aphelios, but he won't be able to. Sponge is also going to be kited out. Another root comes down, and he has to flash away from the seismic shove. And somehow, feels like Gnomeshin win all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a desperation play where you...
Oh, he's going to dash over the rocks here. Rich, rough spot, trying to punish Fisher. It's not going to work out.
And now Nongshim working on these grubs.
Trying to pick up a fifth. Might just be able to. Lahenz has got a great angle here as well. There's just nobody really to stop him either. He just runs straight into the Sejuani. Finally, Andil is going to show up to a fight just to ult a Meganar. And it's not his fault. It's just they don't have any pressure. Lahenz the one to set up the play as DRX overextend into the grub pit. And they get punished for it once again. Rich, he was just bot, didn't have TP, was never going to join that fight.
You know, we saw a game where Lahenz was in the Braum, couldn't really do what he wanted to do. Felt like you could see him trying, but it wasn't there. We then saw the Blitz game where there just wasn't that many great options for him to grab.
We'll actually be on current live patch next week, so we will have potentially Mel. As now, little combo here in a Rich. That is a Camille. Can he get away? Not from this duo. And that's really what it was designed to do.
Yep, you just don't gonna move.
Not good at all. As it all comes in, Gideon is Poppy. So he's going to feel totally fine. Still gonna flash away just to be safe. As
there we go.
They're trying to get time on their side. They're gonna catch Jiwoo right there. Big shutdown right into the hands of Rich. And Rich, you know, he was feeling real bad, but immediately one team fight later, they get a huge pick. Maybe a chance for DRX. Some hope, at least.
They've been all 5 ultimates, and Nongshim only used Poppy's ultimate. So I don't think they're in a position to fight this next... Oh no, oh no.
Well, this is pretty rough as they're going in on Sponge. Gideon pretty low, though, as not quite able to lock him down. Here comes Andil and Teddy taking a bit of damage themselves. Will anybody die in this fight is really the main question. Sponge got extremely low. UCal finally buys them time. You know, Infernal Soul is not going to feel good. Trying to get on top of Teddy here. Looks pretty good to be able to do that as, yeah, he didn't get to press a single button in that passage of play. And now Sponge getting slowed down by the boomerangs. Going to get walloped as well. That's another kill given over to Jiwoo. So they found an angle, but unfortunately we're a bit too worried about Otacon, and that led to their demise.
Armor Pen coming in. He's shredding right now.
And now it's Andil versus 4. Not really sure how this happened, but they're like, he's not even worth it, honestly.
Yeah. Just
let him go. Maybe Kingen can get him.
Oh.
Because Andil, he does buy a lot of time. I mean, he could have bought more time.
No, I thought he was going to do?
Right?
I thought he was going to buy like the symbiotic souls and then have the faster recall. You know, build them and then just recall out.
Wow.
They're looking out. He can ult. He's
still there. They did not respect this at all, as now, there you go. The shockwave comes in, and it's 400 gold.
They'll let Rich get this.
Okay, well, Rich is going to get it. Can he get anything else? He is not alone in the 1v1.
I think he's just hoping to get out. That's what he's trying to get right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting out.
He's not getting out, I would imagine. For now, it's 2v1. They could also... Okay, they're also going to get Teddy on top of everything else. Do anything about the Baron. Can they stop the Baron? The wall as well, very obnoxious. TP in a mid, but the damage, look at this.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's just way too much damage from Aphelios. Remember that he can just do this with a tank, as he had Gideon, as now nice ults onto the Camille, and they just don't have an in. There's so many chakrams coming out. It's
look
like,
at them!
Sponge is like, oh God, run away. But nobody else got the memo, and Sponge apparently didn't either. Look at the chakrams, there's so many. There's like 8 trillion of them.
Series, but in the end, Nongshim just played the better team. Rich trying to find an angle. He's dragging the wave away.
He does do that, and he's buying a little bit of time. Teddy's up, but yeah, realistically, they're down 11,500 gold, and it doesn't matter what kind of things you do in this one, you're just not going to have a way to stop them. Nongshim will move on to the playoffs as your 6th seed from the play-ins. They will face off against KT Roaster. And to be honest, I mean, they're looking really good.
Yeah.
Wow, Fisher did a lot of damage. Do you know, when he had the chakrams at the end, I feel like a good chunk of his damage was just that.
Yeah,
that
like
moment.
the whole dark red bar, which is like damage after 14 or 15, I believe. Yeah, it was probably all that fight.
Yeah, I'm doing this best of 5. Gideon, 100% play the match, 100% for sure. But like having the experience in a fearless best of 5 is good. And I think I'm not fully sold on KT. I think it could be a good match between them. I think Nongshim really could take them down. But yeah, Gideon definitely benefiting from having Lahens in his team. But even the game he lost, I feel like he was a massive factor in that one. He just had 4 good games.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Gideon on the side of Nongshim Red Force. What a spicy play and a spicy crowd. You successfully seized the final ticket to the playoffs, and this will be your first POM as well. How do you feel? You know, I was lucky enough to get POM, but my teammates were actually so good in supporting me, and I think that's why I really want to just take this moment and share it with my teammates, my coaching staff, and the fans as well. It looks like it was the first best of 5 in hard fearless format. So how was it? You know, our jungle, mid, AD carry, and Kingen, they all have really good and big and wide champion pools. So I think we were actually really good in terms of coming up with the draft. So during the draft, did anyone say that it was difficult to pick a champion for any specific lane? I would say if we had to pick one, it would be the mid lane. And honestly, we're actually constantly working on minimizing our weakness. And in an interview, your head coach said not to rely on the veterans like Kingen and Lihens, to create the healthy team environment where every player does their part is the goal. So what was the practice process like to achieve that? I think just from our scrims, the process and the result has been really good. So I think that's really been amplifying our confidence. So I think we have a really good spirit going on as a team. And yeah, what an intense match today with great focus. Nongshim took the victory, and there were moments where Nongshim turned the game around from a pinch. You know, I think we were able to get our victory today is really because of our fans. And whether it be snowing or raining, we always have the support from our fans, and also our very supportive and talented coaching staff actually have all contributed to our victory today. And for the first time in 4 years, Nongshim has made it to the playoffs. What is your resolution into the playoffs? You know, KT is actually my XX team, and I will make sure that I can stand against their jungle as well. Congratulations on the playoffs again, and that's the end of the interview with Gideon. Back to the space. Thank you.